This is the professional football club that was owned by randomers on the internet. Seriously, it's full-on real-life Football Manager. It is a fucking wild story, this. So in 2007, football journalist Will Brooks set up a website called My Football Club. The premise was that paid website members could control a football club through a democratic voting process over the internet. Members would be able to vote on off-the-pitch stuff such as budgets and staffing, as well as on-the-pitch stuff such as transfers and team selection, and even ridiculous things like what food to serve in the stadium. And the website absolutely took off, with them raising £500,000 within 20 days and seeing over 30,000 members in a couple of months. With the website's huge traction, 9 clubs across the conference and the Football League approached My Football Club over a potential takeover. And after a vote, it was National League side Ebbsfleet United that was chosen, with the purchase being approved by 96% of the website's members in January 2008. And whilst a crazy concept, at first the ownership went really well, with Ebbsfleet finishing a handful of points off the National League playoffs and shockingly winning the FA Trophy. But despite the success and the members voting to give manager Liam Daish total control over the playing side, doubts still remained. Ahead of the 08-09 season, My Football Club members made their first big transfer decision, with 82% of them voting to sell star striker John Akinde. And whilst no one knew it at the time, that marked the beginning of the end. Going into the second season of ownership, votes had already started dropping, and by late 2009 it was estimated that around 75% of the original members had now become inactive. Membership renewal in the 2009-2010 season saw just 5,000 members remain, a far cry from the original 30,000 a few years prior. And inevitably, the problems bled onto the pitch, with budget cuts including the sacking of the assistant manager, seeing Ebbsfleet relegated to the National League South. And whilst returning back up at the first time of asking, there were serious problems behind the scenes. In 2011, Ebbsfleet were forced to find £50,000 just to finish the season, thanks to a lack of funding from My Football Club. And the following season, just 1,300 members remained, and it was estimated that the club was losing around £800,000 a season. With the issues now undeniable, by the beginning of 2013, My Football Club considered selling the club, with a vote amongst the remaining members seeing 75% agree. At the same time, the club announced it needed £100,000 to avoid administration and were relegated for the second time in 3 years. And after 96% votes in favour, My Football Club officially sold Ebbsfleet United to KEH Sports of Kuwait on the 31st of May 2013. Whilst playing real-life Football Manager does sound really cool, football clubs should not be an internet gimmick relying on random strangers to survive. I think it was an interesting idea that was maybe even ahead of its time, but ultimately it was always doomed.